And good evening. Welcome to the Deltahead stream. I am James Howell. And tonight we're going to play a game that would otherwise keep me from streaming, so I decided let's merge them together. I'm going to play some Elden Ring. I'm about 70 hours into it, so a little far along, but this is enough to kind of go out, explore, and do some damage, and have a little bit of fun reacting to the surprises on stream with folks. So that's good time. Good times in the wing. Hold on, there's a cat eating some paper. What are you doing? Come here. There we go. Destructive football. That's what that thing is. So, yeah, so we're going to play some Elden Ring. I've been playing quite a bit of it, and just as a quick caveat, this is the first time playthrough. I'm enjoying the experience. Please no spoilers, and yeah, so I'm sure anybody who comes in and out for spoilers will not have heard that, but we'll reiterate it as the stream goes on. So, excuse me, quick pregame show here. So this was a lovely thing that I rediscovered as is much in the news. The war in Ukraine and the Russian invasion has been much on my mind, and along with that comes thoughts of when I grew up on military bases in Germany, and there was a cartoon that I watched called "What Have We Learned, Charlie Brown?" that was very meaningful to me, and I went and I rediscovered this. I actually went and found it again to review it, because a lot of the feelings that are brought up by seeing that war happening, seeing it unfold, and seeing its potential consequences, brought up a lot of feelings that I feel like this kind of touched on for me, so I'd like to share it. So yeah, so Charlie Brown, there are like 26 of these cartoons throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they're really just lovely kids programming, and are willing to tackle topics that are frankly far beyond the scope of what one would expect from children's programming. In this case, how to respond to the overwhelming volume of death in the First and Second World Wars. And that is what this one tackles, and it does so in a way that has a lot of grace and a lot of introspection and reflection, and it does something really interesting with the poem at the end, which is kind of where we're going to wind up. But just to kind of give you a sense of it, the Charlie Brown kids, they're wrapping up an exchange trip in France, which is very rural, very bucolic, lovely, and then they make their way to Omaha Beach, where Linus begins having almost an associative image rush of footage from the Allied invasion on Omaha Beach in Normandy, and some of the visuals are quite striking. Let's see, Linus sees the bombers going overhead, see some of the breakers on the beach, and those as well, some of the anti-tank, sort of debris and obstacles. And so yeah, Linus is just sort of hallucinating this massive destruction that happened on this one very horrible day during a very horrible war. And so they kind of go through what D-Day is, what it means, and they even include a fully animated replay of Eisenhower's recollection of D-Day. And it's very striking and very moving, and since, of course, World War II is not the only war fought on French grounds, they do make their way to the Allied cemetery, or the American cemetery for World War I soldiers, and wind up in Flanders Field with the many dead there. And they wrap it up with a poem titled "In Flanders Fields," which is considered one of the great war poems, great elegiac war poems coming out of the First and Second World War, but not without some problems. And we can look at that here. And so they do a reading of this, which, let's see, "In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields." So this is the part of the poem that the cartoon stops at, and then it repeats the refrain in Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row. The last stanza is omitted. Take up your quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. And criticism of this poem has often looked at it as incidentally being pro-war, when the first two stanzas are actually beautifully elegiac and memorialize the wartime dead quite well. But the final stanza is kind of this sort of like very gung-ho, keep fighting, which was not a sentiment that many people who survived these wars felt really cool about. And Charles Schulz himself was a veteran of, I believe, World War II, and so he would have had some feelings on this. So I think it's very interesting that this cartoon likewise took the sort of nationalistic, almost potentially jingoistic stanza out of this and left it at the elegy. So yeah, so that is What Have We Learned, Charlie Brown. It is available on, I think, Vimeo? Yeah, if you do a search for it. Evening, Iceman Dan. It's great to hear you, or see you, or both. I hear the words in my head. That's how it goes. If you look up criticism of Flanders Fields by Paul Fussell, Fussell, Paul Fussell. He has some of the most stabbing criticism of Flanders Fields. And I think that, I don't know if his criticism preceded or was, contemporary with the use of this poem in this children's show, but they certainly seem to have had the same takeaway, that last stanza is potentially making the same mistake that the first two stanzas sort of pay tribute to. So, yes. Favorite cartoon of mine growing up. Very much sensitized me to war and its consequences. But, on a cheerier note, Elden Ring. Oh, Deltahead stream is always kind of a nice snapshot of what happens to be going on at any given time in my media consumption, and so sometimes you have these things back to back. Hey Dustin, it's good to see you. Many thanks from me to Dustin, who helped me clear a couple of dungeons. Clearing those dungeons gave me ball bearings that I could give to the shop at the round table, and that I was then able to, I could give them those ball bearings, and then I was able to buy the crafting, the smithing shards, which was great, which I really appreciated, because that enables me to actually grow my characters. One second, I'm going to switch this over. Oh yes, no, the jingoistic front, the U.S. national anthem, which I'm trying to remember when that was sort of taken in or adopted. I know this history, but it's not coming to mind. Any national anthem needs to be measured not only by the content of its lyrics, but also the circumstances of its adoption, because sometimes they're adopted to rally, and other times to memorialize, but in any event, it's really important context. Okay, cool. Can I hear? I can, in fact, hear. So, here's a little bit about my dude and how he's developing. I got this mask. This stone imp mask very, very early on, and it is just it is just better than any piece of armor that I'm encountering, and I can only assume that I actually got hold of this maybe sooner by accident than I was meant to, because I have not had a single piece of headgear that has surpassed it. Early years of the French Revolution. Is that the French or the U.S. national anthem? But my guy started out as a samurai, and in his heart, he still grows in that direction. I've got a mace as a striking weapon, purely to bend to necessity. For the most part, he continues to play with his blood Uchikatana plus 16. Yep, that sounds about right. That would have been a time when, I mean, I think the French in general have been very proud of their nationhood and their national cultural identity. French Revolution seems like a point where that would be particularly, I don't know, seems like they'd sing about it more then. And so the ultimate goal for this is to get my guys' equip load high enough so that I can have 2 blood Uchikatanas hand in hand, like this. Yes. And then I can just get that bleed status effect right out there. But for right now, my equip load does not enable me to... Wait, what? No way! Oh, wow, it must have been that last endurance that I leveled up. Okay. All right, now we're cooking. And what a great thing to find out on stream, too, because now I'll be figuring out exactly how the hell I want to use this playstyle. But yeah, so I really like the blood slash. But anyway, so he is trying to find his way back to the original arts, combat arts that were from the land of lost reeds, the land of reeds. What is it? And he is making concessions along the way. Every concession teaching him something more about the way people fight from other places, and teaching him more about what he loves about his home-born, home-learned fighting style. So that's his story. Evening, Monsieur. Yeah, no, I actually have not done a lot of... Ooh, hello. Where am I looking at? I actually have not... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right there. I haven't done a whole lot of digging into any of the other stats. This is sort of the way that I play the Souls games. Is it's a bit overwhelming, I find, to really to go all in on the stats. I'm much more the person who, on a TTRPG, will dig into one character and learn only what I need to learn for that, rather than maybe a GM approach where I just consume all that I can. Though, of course, I read the bestiary front to back. So anyway, I'm not too sure how the other stats are working, but I do know that I decided to kind of grind down on this one, and I'll figure out the rest for another character when that comes along. Rolling. Evening Arc. It's good to see you. Yeah, so I actually didn't know you could dual wield until... I was supported by another player, and they were using 2 katanas. I'm like, oh my god, that's the direction I wanted my build to go, and I didn't know you could do that. So it's a very happy moment for me. And I just discovered this space here, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect. But I think I do know. No, 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 no. Well, at least I came out of it with that insect stuff. Evening, Swimmy. Oh, I do want to see other people blow up. That's a slightly different death animation than what I would expect from an explosion, which makes me wonder if there's something else here. How did you go, my friend? Oh, and I have good news for folks who do attend the stream on the regular. I will be getting a wired connection to my PC in the next few weeks, so the hiccups that have plagued the past several streams will be remedied. Oh, I think this is where I came from. Dual wielding I don't think works that great with these guys because you get exactly 1 hit off of them and that's about it. However... The blood slash works very well with them. And I like it, because at least 2 adversaries have not expected it. It's beautiful, because it really just slashes them good. Yeah, it's especially cool because, you know, I take the, I'm essentially wetting my blade with my own blood and flinging it at my enemies with greater power than one might encounter otherwise, and you know, it's very very Raiden, very very revengeancy. Oh god, there's something. Oh, this one of these guys. There we go. Yeah, Swimmy, I actually just discovered this. Let's see, where's my map? Where am I? This is kind of what my world map looks like right now for where I have traveled and explored. The Altus Plateau is just a dead land for gray spots as I've been exploring, and I'm super curious to know what more of these vacant spaces mean. But yeah, I saw this cave on my map, so I decided to skedaddle up this way, and I have not been disappointed. Seems like a place where something would be above me, but perhaps not. I do like those hits back to back. That is the dexterity dagger rapid attacks that I keep wanting, you know, this to have. And those are not, to be clear, they're not slow intervals, but I keep feeling like there could be a faster way of doing it, and that's what I'm looking for. I have a well done message at the very first big fight. Hello? Do I kick this down or no? I have a well done message at the end of the very first fight when people are fresh and sort of discovering the mechanic, and I have a couple of helpful hints. But those have really been my cash cows, and have saved me on more than one occasion in a pinch. Whoop! Oh, well, that's what you get for reading. It's like the soul's equivalent of getting into a car wreck because you had to rubberneck to catch that billboard as you were going past. Yeah, something else that I think works is, I mean, it's a little cheap, but if you really want something that that's gonna get you those results, it's gonna get you those likes, smashing that like button, is find a message that is well rated, and then put one that is similar enough of your own nearby, and you know, they randomize how they appear, and if people find a certain message useful, then if yours is the one that appears, then you have a chance of sort of snagging that, sort of cherry picking that good rating. But I did that for a couple of them, and then started to feel like there was, it just kind of like bugged me. Like I was like, you know what, I can do this on my own. Nonetheless, it is a strategy, if nothing is working. There we go. Yeah, the goofy ones are popular as well. And I like that. just I'm gonna use one of the most ridiculous, ridiculous war arts on a mace like this, where you just like just swing it around like it's nothing. And now back to being in character. Plagiarism as a service. I mean, if you have spent any time near an essay mill for coursework, you will see that that is not entirely the joke that it seems like it is. What's my hold on. Oh wow, I've got a hefty number of runes there. I'll never stop in my head calling them souls. I think about this a lot, about the difference between the words that are used in a game for a thing versus the words that people say, and I think, yeah, I just kind of like indiscriminately, because, you know what, I'm gonna help someone out. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yes, sometimes I think about how games have words that they would like for you to use for mechanics and objects and the like, but if the mechanic or the object is similar enough to something that you already know very well from elsewhere, you're just going to use that word that you know. The case in point being like, yeah, the game wants me to call them runes, but I'm going to call them souls. In my head and in my heart. Ooh, I hear something singing. Oh, I know what this is. I've come across one of these in the wild before. I mean, this is not. This is still technically the wild, but on the map, where it's like you hear this singing and it sounds like a male sort of like choir singer, and then you get near it and it's one of the harpies. It's a great lure. Oh wow, what a great strike. Yeah! Like, it's also really good because they're not the only characters that you can sort of incidentally hear in the atmosphere. Like, some of the merchants that are playing their their stringed instrument, and when they notice you, they'll stop playing. So you hear this singing and you think it's something friendly or something warm, but it absolutely is not. This is actually something that I like quite a lot, is the notion when something that is villainous or something that is antagonistic to you is capable of creating something genuinely beautiful. That's very interesting to me. Let's see, somebody taking a real hard pull on their bow there. Oh, what? No, 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 no! Oh, wow. Okay. This is a Soulsborne game. I would like for you to please walk into my swords. Thank you. You know what? Let's just do this now. Thank you. No! Thank you. No, 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 no! You cannot crawl! No, you are not invisible! It kills me when I do that. I accidentally go into stealth. This happens in many other games as well, but I will accidentally go into stealth while trying to run away, and it is brutal. You know, it has a high church Latinate sound. I fully believe that it is legitimate on a number of levels, both in terms of what the song is and also the fact that it has a lore value. Item ahead, you say. Just gotta poke around a little bit, see if I can... Oh, I see you, Buster. I do think... For these guys right here, I feel like a shield is gonna help me out more. There we go. I believe you can crouch in Sekiro, because you can stealth. Yeah, you can stealth your way through things in this one, which I've used to explore a surprising amount of map. Sure, octopus, you say. It's a workable strategy. I do like that they gave jump its own button this time. I really appreciate the adventure game jump rather than the you have to be running jump. I feel like they took enough of Sekiro and really applied it to this game in a way that works. Okay, so a bunch of octopuses over there. I don't see the guy. Oh, I think I see him. He's right around that column. Yeah, there he is. Oh wow, that one's got some different hair. Let's see. Is there something over here? No. It's so clumsy. Yeah, there's something that I've noticed about FromSoft games. Buster, if you are telling me the truth, that is a quality message that I wish I could approve of twice. Is that something standing up? Oh, cool. I don't think I've seen them standing up like that before. But yeah, if you look at like even like the PS1 FromSoft games, the Kingsfield, Echo Knight, and the like, the control scheme and Shadow Tower, the control scheme is almost identical between all of them, and they have only slight variations. And it seems very clear that they're interested in innovating on a very specific number of things that catch their interest, and the rest of the rest of the game seems to be good enough for the audience that they care about, so they don't really spend a lot of time adjusting those, UI and controls being one of them. Even when, you know, DualShock controllers came out that had the both thumbsticks, the controls still use the shoulder buttons to strafe left and right and to kind of move your camera on some of them. And so yeah, so it is weird. I think that your point is well taken, because like or well made, because that is an element that feels very good in the FromSoft game, in this FromSoft game, and also in Sekiro. But it maybe just wasn't something that they felt either they wanted to design around, or that they felt that the way it worked was good enough that they just didn't need to spend much more time on it. Oh, let me get my health back. Can I kill you without attracting attention? Nope. Let's see. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, wow. That's reckonable. I'm gonna get the camera there. And one of them does indeed have some clown-looking hair. Although this gives me an idea. If they came to pay attention to that strike, then maybe I can kill one of these other dudes, get them to climb out this way, and then take the stairs when they're not looking. Heck yeah! Later, nerds. Yes! Thank you, helpful message. I am glad that I approved your words. That's interesting. Alright. Oh, cool, I'm at a boss. What are we looking here? Didn't expect weak foe. Well, that seems promising. Sure. I am kind of amused to see how well the stream handles this, since the wireless connection on the PC is a little eh, and I'm also connecting by wireless off the PS4. Oh, wait a minute. That's... Oh, never mind. That's the NPC. That's the guy from the swamp. No wonder he's hanging around like an NPC would. Now that's somebody to greet. Alright, let's go. What am I looking at? I can probably do this. Though I have no idea what I'm walking into. Oh god, it's an actual dragon. Alright, what are you doing there? Oh wow, the dragon's got a sword. Rockin'. Oh, that's too far away. The dragon's got a very heavy hitting sword. Okay. Yeah, so clearly the lesson is don't get hit with that. Oh. Yes, friend, we are both back to zero. See if I can summon him back and we can try this again. Alright. When this happens, I sometimes wonder if we are, like, literally the only two players on whatever server we're connected to. Oh, I like how the dragon comes out faster this time. The first time it was a gradual, excuse me, a gradual reveal. This was a much, oh, no, 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 no! Ah! This was a much faster, appearance. Okay, maybe... I don't think this is really a good idea at all, but... It is really a bad idea, okay. Or is it? No, no, I should be part of this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Ooh. No, 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 not right into the mouth. Guy's still stomping, isn't he? Oh, no, 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 no! Okay. Potion saved me. Potion saved me. Oh, I don't want to be there. I really don't want to be there! Oh. Let's see, can I get out of there to heal? In fact, I can. Oh crap, he's standing up. Oh no. Like you've been trying to invade a world at all at random or a specific one? Oh crap, Ghostwire Tokyo's coming out. Yeah, yeah, that's John Johannes. John Johannes. I keep misremembering his last name. Anyway, the Evil Within 2 guy. Yes, I'm very excited by that. It looks like a cool premise, and I'm really curious to see how the creative direction goes on that. You know, that is a tremendous amount of runes to let go, but I think I'm willing to... let that go to explore something else. Well, if I find a mine boss that you wanted to co-op on, I would be down for that. Actually, there is a boss in the swamp that I think that I am at a level enough where with a cooperator I could probably do that. It's in the Kaled Swamp. Oh, that's what Abandoned Coffin means. You know, I just tagged this grace point and didn't think twice about it. love when they play. See, when they're sleeping and they wake up just to attack me, then, you know, I'm fine going out with the sword. But when they're just playing like that, I just want to avoid them completely. I also don't really kill anything that... I don't really hunt anything unless it is trying to, like, actively kill me. So I tend to leave well enough alone. Hello? Oh, wait, you're an enemy. I tried to lock onto him at a distance, and nothing gave. So I thought that was somebody I could be friends with. It turns out, no. Oh, well, that seems like a... You know, usually I'm used to these things pointing to something that I would not see from any angle, but that's just really just a finger straight down. Do I have Stone Sword Key? I feel like I might. In fact, I do not. Let's see. Oh, I've got a boss I could definitely use your help with. It's an underground boss, just a tremendous giant root dragon thing. Oh, weird. I thought that it was Johannes. Well, in any event, I believe Johannes is still involved with it, and that that is enough to provoke my curiosity. Alright. So, I know some places I could buy those keys. Let's see. Yep. Alright. Horse! Come to my aid. The rare situation where a four-legged beast is more agile than two. At least I assume it's rare. Oh, here we go. Perfumer's Ruins. What a lovely name. Let's pull the other katana out. Interesting. I would be surprised if, I mean, because Johannes has established himself quite well, I think, with other Tango games. I'll be very interested to see how the, Oh, hi. I absolutely did not see you. Let's see. Okay, you are not staggered by that in the least. No, 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 no! Alright, there's that bleed effect. Omen Killer Robe. Oh, Omen Killer's a great name. Oh, no, 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 don't emote! Excuse me. Huh. No, well, I mean, Ghostwire. Well, now I'm intrigued by it, not just for the gameplay that I've seen, but also for the credits. I've got to admit, I love reading the credits or watching the credits of a video game to see who worked on it. Perfume bottle as a key item. What is this? Crafting perfume items. The numbers down here are a little bewildering to me because I'm used to the numbers here indicating consumable or non-renewable. These key items, one would assume, just the number indicates the number of them that you have, versus, and you know, that basically that number's only going to go up. But still not 100% sure how that works with some of the crafting pots. Perfumer's cookbook. What is that for, like lures or something? Do. No, it's back this way. Yep. Where? Oh, are they here? There we go. I can never remember where so many of these things are. Spark aromatic and uplifting aromatic. What the heck are those? Oh, that's a combat item. Oh, that's a support item. Interesting. Is that, it is. It's an item. Thank you for drawing my attention over here. I believe... Is that an enemy, or was that another player running up here? I think that was the shadow of another player. Cool. Well, I be held up. The message bears out. I almost have enough to buy a stone sword key. So if I can find a grace point around here, I will travel back and nab it. Oh, hello. Friend? Is there an NPC that's not appearing for me? Bewildering. I read that some of the false walls in this game require more than one hit to activate or deactivate, which completely throws... Oh, that's cool item placing. Which completely throws a lot of the liar messages for a loop, because you wonder, is it really a lie, or did you just not hit it enough times? Are you putting the skull on that broken pot? That's interesting. That's interesting. 100 times? No way. Yeah, Ark, this is the map. You can see I have well trod here and here. Less so well here. I think this is just one big wasteland area for a fight. Some traversal here, and this is largely a barren wasteland to me. The game does some really lovely things with its maps, and it puts these sort of incidental illustrations on there. Let's see. Kind of almost gives me a map from Shadow of the Colossus vibe. I do like how the incidental illustrations really emphasize human presence and human activity. Oh, that didn't look like a good thing. So you see all these ships, not so much sea monsters. What is this over here? Yeah, they could be doing better. And I kind of half expect by getting out here that I would see some of these. I do wonder if I will catch them. I need to get over here. And this is a puzzle that would be worth exploring. After I kind of poke around here, I'll hop over there. I don't remember if the Edge of the World is a dragon in the Shadow of the Colossus map, but I do remember it had a really beautiful... Oh no, you don't have a lot of... Your spores have great range. Blood attack is good, but I'm going to let your halitosis kind of cancel itself out before I run back in. Maybe I can do this. Oh wow, it actually catches on fire. The other part of my character's build, besides the blood and the blood and the katanas, is my guy kind of came to realize that sticking to his traditional combat taboos were not going to help him in this land, so he ventured outside of his normal repertoire to learn fire magic, and that's where he is now. Whoa! Okay. Oh, nifty. I really love the Bloodborne root dungeon feelings that Perfumer's Talisman. What is this? The Bloodborne root dungeon feelings that a lot of these incidental areas and underground spaces evoke. All right. I think that is an item that is probably going to better work with another build or another character plan, but I'm happy to encounter it. Nascent butterfly. Is that a crafting item? It is. Oh man, this is one of the little pokes to the imagination, both in visuals and language. The Souls series, and Elden Ring really bears this out, has some of the most beautiful language usage in almost any video game that I can think of. It doesn't shy away from a mid-tier to advanced vocabulary. It utilizes it in a way that really works very well for the kind of game that it is mechanically, which is if you're here, we expect you to take your own time to find out. So if they use a word that isn't immediately accessible, they're not worrying about it too much, and I dig that. One second. Oh, that's something else. Whoop. What is over that way? What am I looking at? I am looking at whatever this is. Yeah, Ark, the map in this game is extraordinarily useful. It is detailed enough that when I see something in the distance, I can refer to it, and I feel like I am using this map more than I use maps in most games. Because maps in most games, I think, usually have some sort of planned waypoint that is just sort of a visual accompaniment to that. But waypoints feel like an accompaniment to the map, and this whole process of seeing something in the distance, running around trying to seeing something in the distance, running toward it, checking your map, course correcting, and the like that feels like this is so key to the game loop that and I really like that. Pardon me. Okay. So, if I go to the abandoned coffin and I go west, northwest, then I will get back here. So, I'm going to buy myself a stone sword key. I can't be sure, but I think that this thing gets brighter the more graces I activate. Oh, weird. I don't remember there being destruction here. This way. Yes. I have no idea what this guy's story is. But the growing splotches of blood and the mounds of corpses and books. I like that the books are strewn on top of the corpses as though somebody were standing on top of them and just like reading or perusing here. That's a nice touch. Alright, so now let's go see what is in that that cave. Do you mean the round table, Dustin? Yeah, one of the things that I know this happens is the environment does change slowly and incrementally, and you really have to explore every time you go there to see how. I feel like there are at least 4 or 5 changes that I have completely overlooked because you know, I just wasn't paying attention, and it does have a creepy feeling. It does have a very lived-in feeling because so many things will change independent of your participation. You just have to be there when it's relevant. Later, nerd. Whoop. Huh. There we go. Oh, I need the other one. Oh, well. Shoot. I guess let me kill some more dudes. Then we can do that. That big fella still here? Come back. He does. Whoop. Get my health back. Okay, cool. Oh, weird. The perfumer shield buffed the flowers. I see. It occurs to me that really getting a good repertoire of perfumes and then just summoning a ton of people during the Radon fight would be a potential strategy to beating him. Oh, you still alive? I killed you. There we go. Yep. No, I have not beaten Radon yet. Radon is a boss that I am at the start of, actually. In that location. There we go. Alright, that's enough to get the other stone sword key, and then we can unlock that. Let's see what's behind that door. Much better. I really dig the designs of those living jars. The first time I killed one and it broke apart, like you just kind of think that they're sort of maybe like kind of the Sorcerer's Apprentice like inanimate objects given life, and they're just, you know, little bits of pottery that are walking around with a temporary sort of temporary animating spirit, and then they break apart and you get to see the gore and you realize that they in fact did have blood and innards is very shocking and a very cool moment. Hello, it's me again. Goodbye, it's me again. Now, I have enough. 1 and 2. Actually, kind of unsightly catacombs. Wow, that's a claim there. I'm actually really curious to see, and I would do this. I would do this to get the door opening animations from everything from Demon Souls all the way up through Elden Ring and compare them and see if they have in fact just reused the same animation every time, or if they varied it up. Okay, we're gonna need to swap this out for a torch. Be wary of ambush, you say? Be wary of right. This just keeps getting more and more specific. Oh, one of these dudes. Anybody behind me? No. Oh, that does not stagger him at all. Okay, I need to kill him a little faster than that, huh? Oh, nifty! They've got the same the same barnacles and kind of almost maggot-like looking thorns coming out of them that the blacksmith at the round table does. Now, what I'm looking for next is to finally just let's evolve this new jump mechanic into door jumping, where you just kind of like do what's the name of the kick? Kind of run and kind of fly in with both soles of your feet. Plant one of those wrestling kicks. Drop kick, thank you. Old Fang. There's that. Oh, that's not the effect that I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's an excellent Iori dropkick. Oh. No, that is not... Oh my god, I wish I could take that secondary effect off. I mean, I can take the secondary effect off. I wish that I had. Because I never use it. No, okay, so there is one enemy that I've used it on successfully, and they are those little sort of slime enemies that've got a bunch of like fragments and debris in them. Those are useful against, but none other. Drop anything? You did not. You did not. Alright. Shield time. Now, there you are. right. Ooh, I can level up my wolves with this. Very nice. The frequency of the liar ahead messages is sort of boggling, because I mean maybe maybe folks don't know yet that the messages that you're getting on this server are not always the messages that everybody else is going to get. So it just winds up being contextless. Goodbye. Oh wow, you apparently landed well. Good on you. Oh, I see. Huh. Let's take a look and see what's over here before we try that. I mean, I'm not against it. How mad does this make you, and what does that mean you do? So, there's one thing to being clever with a sniping spot. There's another to aggroing an enemy that you might have had the opportunity to do something a little more devastating to had they not become aware of your presence. And I think that's where I am right now. Because I can't lock onto this guy for the life of me. And this is like a level 1 bow. Not the heftiest arsenal. Well, I guess we'll figure out what that is when we get there. Anything left or right? Nope. What are we doing here on the left and right on this way? Yep, that's good. There's a path forward. Oh, you're one of the big ones. One of the big ones. Right. It is very sad to me to slay an animal, however gruesome or ready to kill me it is, when it is looking lovingly at its equally gruesome master or companion. Gives me the same bad feelings that I get from the Owl Knight from Symphony of the Night, who is in the... what is the name of that area? Who's in the Colosseum, and as the name suggests, he's an owl. He's a knight who attacks you with an owl, and if you kill the owl or the knight first, they each mourn the other's death, and it just kind of breaks your heart. Well, Ark, thank you very much for coming by, and yeah, always a pleasure. I hope work goes well. Alright, I will in fact try target lock. What does this do? There we go. Thank you, friend. I don't believe I want to do that. I also suspect I am coming up on the big fella where I just kind of aggroed by indiscriminately following advice. Oh god! That scared me. Also did surprisingly little damage for as much of a start as it gave me. Yep, that's my guy. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, wow, he's fast. I hear him. Maybe he gave up. Winged Misbegotten. Cool. Iceman Dan, it's great to see you. And yeah, have a great night. Yeah, Dustin, if you are up for it, and no pressure if you're not, but I could probably use a hand. Oh, hello, here's my lever. With O'Neill as a boss. Oh wow. I don't think I've done that before with headphones on and actually heard it. Heard a heavy door open somewhere. Awesome. Oh, I love prattling pates. These are so cool. It's a stupid. It's great. It's like it's a novelty kids toy, and it sounds demonic. What? Okay, no message. Oh, I do see our big fella. Oh! Okay, I lured him down here, and this is... He would have been up here if I hadn't brought him down to the ground level. Ah! Oh, hey, cool, it worked. Yes! No, don't step forward. Cool. That gives me a little more security about exploring down there. Oh, and there's the door. That is located... Where's the nearest? I believe if you go to the Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank, because the boss is right here in this area, then I can head up here, and there's a statue of Marika and a summoning pool up there. Oh. This feels like a very unprepared state for going into this boss. Sure. Oh no. Okay. Oh, that's not good. Oh. Okay. That's doable. I bet I could do that in co-op. Oh, cool, nifty. I thought that O'Neill was required. And I remember you mentioned that you're at the end of the game, so it's really neat to discover how many of these things that I thought were progression blockers might actually just be optional. I'm really digging just how much you can bite off as much as you want to chew, and the game's just like, all right, have at it. All right, good day, unsightly catacombs. I'll return. Yeah, I'm so impressed by the fact that it's an open world game, but every space feels very designed. Um, I don't think the only places that have felt a little aimless are some of the areas that are they feel, well, not aimless. They feel transitional, and they feel made for running through on horseback. Um, but that's just another kind of the landscape, so I don't really think that's a criticism against the game. Alright, so we're in Caelid. We're going north. So this is the Swamp of Aeonia. This is where... Hello? I really don't want to fight that guy. That's not what I'm here for. Looking for that summoning pool. Oh, well, there's Neil. So... here we go. So let me set... excuse me. Set a multiplayer with... Deltahead. There's my multiplayer password. Actually, you know what? Let me change that from that to a group password, because then we might be able to grab in a random cooperator. Let me know when you have your summon sign down, and I'll call on you. Okay, cool. That's interesting. I wonder the stone sword key looks like, and if it looks at anything like the martyrs. Though oh wait, I don't have any in my inventory, so I can't know. Excuse me. Grants choice of any upgrade with. Huh. See, oh, that's Scarlet Rot. Don't want that. Okay, let's try and redo this. Huh. You know, we might have to use group password instead of the other one. That might be a little more targeted. So yeah, let's try that. Or multiplayer password rather than group password. Oh, if you had both of the set and I didn't have Deltahead as it, then that's probably why it didn't show up for me. But with this, it should work. Yeah, try canceling it and putting it down again. That's funny. We had success right off the bat with this last time. But I think last time we both used the multiplayer password right off the bat too. So. Let's see. And just to double check, you have Deltahead as the multiplayer password, as the top one. Okay, cool. Yeah, weird. I wonder why it's being fussy. Let's try. Well, shoot, this is disappointing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up. Well, how about this? Let me ride into battle and see how it goes with Neil, and we can circle back around and try again in a few minutes. How's that sound? And if you're off doing something else in it, that's a-okay. So there he is. Standing in the middle of all the viscera and ichor of a corpse field in a fungal wasteland. That's... Woohoo! Oh, he's got... bunch of dudes here. Oh, he's buffing his summons. Okay. Nope. Whoop. Oh, that's okay, those guys are a little too close to him. I think I probably just need to help out the horse. And also maybe hit them. Woohoo! Let's, nope! Don't get cut on Geo. Cool. Alright. It's you and me, Buster. Two. One. Oh, it's... Oh, I bet if I'm close enough, he does, then he follows up on it. Oh, this looks bad. Woohoo! Oh, that's... a little too far away to make contact. Oh, man. Talk about adding, indignity to failure. It's getting scarlet rot as I die. Oh, hey, fella. Well, and here's a familiar face, too. People who were around this stream when it was a little more... Oh. Happening twice a week. Oh, yeah, there's a big panda fella. He is just the same as he has always been. Which is gigantic. This guy right here is a Souls boss. And formerly I thought this guy might have been hanging around because he needed food, but he has food, so it's almost as if he might just like being around. Just a novel notion for a cat of this stature. It's one of those cats that likes to hang around you, but also gives you the sense that he's got someplace better he could be, but isn't. There you go, my friend. Alright, let's try Neil again. Oh yeah, I should... Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Are you striking out on your own in a place where you can have your own pet? Calling in all my animal friends on this. No, 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 no! Roll, roll, roll! Oh. At least I got one good boy. Just hanging around. Congratulations, that's fantastic. I'm very happy for you. Yeah, being able to have a pet and, well, have a cat, and these cats specifically, has been a driving factor on where I live. And yeah, I know some folks who don't have pets, and that is not a way I've ever lived. And yeah, I don't think I've ever not had a critter. Now that I think about it. But it adds a lot. It adds a lot to life, so I'm very happy for you. Alright. Fill up on that. Take a swig of this. And let's go into battle. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, wow, that's a lot of wasted... a lot of wasted attacks. And if I die from a kick in the butt, it is an ignoble death. No, 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 good boy! Okay. Ooh. Okay, that works less well. Whew. Oh, it's just that quarter second of a delay before you think it's gonna hit. Gets you every time. Evening Viper, it's good to see you. It's been forever. It's the first time I've streamed a stream. No, it's the second time I've streamed a Soulsborne games. As a matter of fact, Bloodborne was the second game I ever streamed on this channel, and but on a lot of games, if I'm dying repeatedly at the same boss over and over again, it kind of runs counter to the momentum that I'm trying to build for the stream. But in this case, it's actually right on mark. They sure are. Alright, so I'm going to save my dog summons until I kill these supporting nerds. Woohoo! Wow! That's a lot of damage from a summon. Oh, that's a lot of damage from the boss. That's a pike right upside my head. Alright, now... What? No, I can't call my... Oh, wait, I need more. Yeah. This. Oh wow, he's got a attack where he can hit something from behind. Like that. I'm sorry, all good boys. Oh. No FP with which to sling my blood. 3, 4. Okay, cool. Yeah, as you can see, I definitely need it. Let me give it another shot. Let's see if we can get the summon working this time. Viper, which platform are you playing this on? Which I assume, if the staggered hits are getting you, then you are likewise playing it as well. Steam? Cool. Yeah, as many people are playing it on Steam, that is, it's making a compelling case for getting a redundant copy and playing it on PC. I do too. Oh, alright, yep. Here we go. Force of habit just riding onward into my death. There we go. So, I don't need this. I'm sorry, I'm missing the social moment here. Hey! There we go. Co-op is fun. Dustin is the only person who I know who I have co-opted with, but it is a blast in this game more than it has been in many of the other ones that I've played. Curse me, maybe I should have drank that before coming in. Oh. Ooh, gonna back up from that. Oh, I'm miscalculating the distance. I think this guy's size is throwing me off. Oh no 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 no! Yeah, we got him done halfway. Very good. Oh, dude, nice! Very good. Oh, I don't know what this is. Oh, that might have been the inauguration of a second phase that maybe we should have just kept attacking him through. Oh, whoa, okay, no, no. That's what this is. Oh, no! Oh, no! This close. We can totally do this. You know, given the amount of, given the margin of health that he had left, when he was doing his summon there at the end, I think if we had just kept attacking him while he was doing that, we would have absolutely had that. And if you want, after we beat him here, I can hop into yours as a summon, and be glad to help you clear him out there. I don't know what the damage on my weapon is going to be as it adjusts to your level, but we can see. All right, we got this. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, the offer's there in spirit, at least. Yuck. Did that message just go flying off into nowhere when I destroyed that thing? Oh no, it's just kind of hanging in the air. There we go. Whoop. It's gonna be a big one. Oh, nice. Very good. Yes, this is it. Yeah, got him. Nice work. Commander Standard, unalloyed. Ooh. I love the slowness, the gradual reveal of this one. Oop. Oh no. So Twitch just crashed on my Twitch just crashed on my iPad. So if you're typing anything right now, I cannot see it. But it will be up shortly. Apparently it not only crashed, but it actually uninstalled itself. Magnificent. And oh hey, I got 9,000 souls from that. And I'll add on top of that the whopping nothing that I had in my back pocket when I got killed last time. And I think I'm doing pretty well for myself. Okay, so what advantage does beating Neil give me? There's a bit of a mystery I'm stuck on in terms of trying to get into a place. So I'm trying to get into here. There's and if you know this, a light hint will not be turned away. So I'm trying to get in here, and there's a path that runs up here, down here, and then there's a ravine that carries you down through here, and it looks like you should be able to enter right here, but unfortunately there's a cliff that you cannot jump over. At least I haven't found a way to. And getting down in here is just a fall that'll kill you every time. And let's see. There we go. Okay, my Twitch chat is back up. If you send something, I can now read it. But yeah, I'm trying to get into this ravine, and I just don't know how. Maybe over here? Maybe over here. What? What does that sound? Oh. Just the general screams of the damned. Alright, let's see. I have another boss. If you're keen on it, I could use a hand with. It is in... Let's see. Stranded Graveyard. And this one is a hoot to get to. I can get to him pretty quickly now by futzing with my menu. Let's see. So it's this area right here. You have to use a couple of... let me get my torch out. You have to use a couple of stone sword keys to get these imps to unlock this gate, but it is... You run through this muck, you get here, and as you can see, got this big boy. It's running the line, and I am not fast enough to run with all my armor on, so the only way I can do it is by unequipping everything and sprinting in my briefs. Oh. No, dude, stop! Okay, and let's just fall here. And now just go for it. Get some stamina back. Oh no. Oh no, no, no! Oh, I thought I had it beat, but I didn't. Yeah, Viper, once I got to the very bottom, to the boss, and I realized, like, oh, I am in no way equipped to beat this. I was kind of kicking myself for spending those, at that time, very precious resource on unlocking this. And also, I mean, I felt good about overcoming the challenge of getting down there, but nonetheless, pardon. Nonetheless, it did close off some areas that I would rather have explored. That's the way to do it. Get, yeah, that should be enough. Want just enough to stop me from getting poisoned. As I run over here. There we go. I remember my route now. Remember how I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Haha. Later. Now he's going to turn around. I'm going to run like this. Yes. This will buy me a little more time. And since I am not running with an enemy around, my stamina is not going to drain, and I don't have to worry about that. Whew! Ha! Nerds! I'm going to get dressed in victory. Let's see, Mausoleum Night Greaves. The Forgotten City. No, I am not familiar with that one. I better craft more of these things. I mean, I'm sure we're going to win the first time through. Yeah. 75. Let's use the consumable number. It's so painstakingly slow. I love it. Alright. So, the last thing I remember about this is the time that I died to it, so I really have no idea what we're walking into. Oh my god. Good god! What the hell is this thing? Oh, heal, 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 heal! I'm still alive! Oh, still alive! Oh, no, 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 no. No, don't look at me, don't look at me. Okay. I feel like guarding might... Woo! Guy's a spicy fella. Oh, dude! Yeah! I showed up to land the winning blow. I'm helping. Oh, man, that's great. I chipped in my 5 HP of damage. That was great. Oh, that's really cool. No, that does sound up my alley. Oh, weird. You do this, the twinned... I love the design of this armor, by the way. Dustin, that was awesome. Thank you. Super curious to see what's past here. Oh, man. There's another one of those bosses at a place that I'm stuck. So if... what does it do? Oh, wow. I got a lot of runes from that. It is a magnificent feeling after beating a hard boss just to run around and just like give everybody it's like scoring a goal, like playing soccer, and then just like running down to back to your starting position and giving everybody on your team a high five on the way through. That's what reading all these messages of I did it and liking them, that's that feeling. Feels good. It's like, yeah, we're all in this together. And I won. It's great. It's good stuff. So, but that got me Banished Knight Oleg, one of 2 knights known as the Wings of the Storm. After his banishment, he attracted the notice of the grace-given Lord, and later, having slain 100 traitors as the Lord's hand, Oleg earned the hero's honor of Air-Tree Burial. And I am guessing that, as with many other of these things, these are like cankered or festering or somehow otherwise diseased developments of these heroes who were given this like very spiritual honor of a burial. Yeah, I kept trying to run after it because it kept following you, and so I did more than 5 HP of damage, but still, you're running and jumping and jumping attacking. I got that, did the lion's share of the damage. And with a creature that big, I'm not totally sure how, because my build, the blood swords, that really is built best for humans and humanoids. So against something like that, the greatest strength that it has, which is to build up that blood and then get that like big spray of damage, is less likely to sort of take effect. Pardon. Anyway. Okay, so I got a cool summon. Sir, you did it. You know what? Sure. We all made it together, even that guy. So here's hoping you win your next battle. So there is another one. Have you fought the one of those that's that is in Stormvale Castle? Because I discovered it, but have not. But once I saw that it was the same kind of boss, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do about this. I backed off and explored a little more. All right. Yes, sir. I've got solid strength, and right now I'm just like, I'm wielding those katanas with these massive biceps and wrists made of granite. So I've got like no dexterity. I'm just bashing things with my katana like it's a hammer. And so now I'm gonna slowly get some flexibility in the wrist there. And so when I slice, I can slice with power and technique. So, what? You know, assuming I'm gonna die, what do I want to spend this pittance of runes on? I think I'm just gonna buy some arrows. I love these walking mausoleums. That's such a cool design. Hello, friend who is slowly loading in.
It's you again. Always a pleasure.
Let's see. Is there anything here that I would benefit from buying? How many of these do I have? 7. Yeah.
Goodbye.
So, secluded cell. I think it's here because I think the way to get to it is down there to the right. So let's see how it goes. Oh, this game is so cool. Yeah, streaming this was the right idea. I wanted to stream, but at the same time, I kind of am in this headspace where the long-term project of streaming a single game to completion is feels a little bit beyond what I have the output for. But streaming something that I'm just going ahead and playing is that's a winner of a move. Sit. Oh, I never activated the summoning pool. Although, if you want, if you go to this summoning pool right here, I can probably just summon you and we can just fight our way to wherever this thing is. Yeah, this is the summoning pool near the lift side chamber. I'll tell you something that really weirds me out in this game when it happens is when the dynamic shadows for the passage of time light upon something that is either really, really close or really, really far. And so you just have this bar of shadow like moving really quickly past you. Yep. It's not appearing. Let's try redoing it. Yeah, on at least one occasion, I have brushed off a giant shadow on the ground as just, oh, that's just the sun passing in a weird way, and it actually was something that was going to kill me. So, good comedic timing on that. Whoa, what the heck? What is that? I mean, I know what the dog is. Is there an object in there? Weird. Let me try... Actually, you tried this last time. Let me try logging out, logging back in, and then see if I can get the get the summon sign out. I love the fact that From Software has not changed their logo since like 1995. Again, it's one of the things I really dig about the studio is it doesn't seem to engage in whatever it feels to be pointless innovation. Just the things that it cares about is what it develops. I agree. I agree. I think that they are a fine example of marching to your drum and making something great with it. Oh, Dustin, did you put it down beside the Grace Point, or did you put it beside the summoning summoning pool effigy? Yeah, I know. This is like the... Huh. I wonder, out of curiosity, have you yourself activated the summoning pool, or I wonder if maybe we both need to do that for that to happen. Yeah, Viper, at this point, I think that, okay, huh. At this point, I think that From has shown that they can, I mean, just spin gold so many times that I think that they will be given the benefit of the doubt, even if they come up with something that on paper or from a marketing standpoint shouldn't work. It's curious. I'm gonna kill this thing and see if, oh, it's one of these freaking birds. Those things are horrifying. I want a new Echo Knight. I want a new Echo Knight so badly. I honestly thought when I saw Duracinae, I thought that Duracinae was a new Echo Knight. And honestly, it kind of feels like a synthesis between Echo Knight and a Soulsborne game. Did you ever play Duracinae? Oh, I'm gonna regret this, I bet. As you do when you antagonize an ogre. No, 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 no! My dude, I was going to attack you with my blood. I'm willing to give it to you for free. Oh, wow. Just gave me a big old hug right there at the end. Just trying to be friends. I have Echo Knight 3. I have Japanese Echo Knight 3. I have the Japanese edition of it, which was part of the lifelong push to learn the language well enough to be able to consume media directly. I think that I am probably going to wind up pirating the PAL version because it does have an English translation, because I would like to play that game sooner than I will learn Japanese to proficiency. Huh. That's weird, Dustin. I wonder, maybe we should try to meet up over at the if there is a summoning effigy, or actually we don't need the effigy specifically, but if we can meet up where that that fight is. Oh wait, no, I remember how I got here. Okay, this is. Heck yeah. Release your weird games in European territories. And make them finger-breakingly obscure and hard to find. That and I think Kuon is the other one. The other FromSoft game that's just crushingly rare. I think they streamed Kuon. Yeah, it's down there. It's down there. That's what I'm looking for. So is there another... Let me, as long as I'm at this grace point, let me just refresh here. Right. It is nice to be over-leveled in an area for once. One thing I will give this game many props for is with the stake of, or the Marika statues, they have helped to take out part of the game loop that I don't think was very interesting ever, and that with it gone, I realize I don't miss it and I don't feel like anything's been lost, which is what's happening here. The run up to a boss from a bonfire. Now I can just retry a boss time and time again, and I like that because after try 20, that run gets really, really old. Oh man, let me see if there is a. Yeah, so this is where the boss fight is. Dog ahead indeed. Yes. Like, it's weird because if I try to do that, I think about how much attention I am placing in these very small muscles to keep my arm going and to keep it held up. And it's like if you actually do that motion, it is such a deliberate action, and it makes it extra fascinating. Nah. Oh, hey, cool. Oh my god, look at that. Man, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's probably got to be a regular scene of death at that site. Being shocked that you see this apparently peeled off face just melting into the ground, and then being killed one shot from behind by a giant tree monster. Well, I mean, it's like you have a melty floor, and why would you have a melty floor if people didn't look at it? That's why you have a melty floor, man. I have a melty floor. Some people say it's just bad housekeeping, but no. That is a deliberate choice. Dustin, do you have a passageway to that area open? If not, then we can try waiting around here for a second longer to get your summon sign set up, and if not, okay, cool. Then here's what I'll do. Let me go ahead and run there. I need to take a quick break here, but let me run over there to him, and I'll kind of chill in the area where you fall down. Let's see, what are my winners? Behold tree, yep, that's quality signage. Well done, yep, there's my cash cow. Didn't expect bird on the brink. I'm very proud of that one. The fact that people hate it more than others gives it a very warm spot for me. Ah, old codger, all the more noble. That is for a tortoise. Didn't expect air tree. Yes. Try luring out then fire. That's an actual practical one. I'm actually very curious at the 4 people who found it poor because it's a legitimate strategy, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you folks? I mean, it's like one of 2 signs about this in the entire dungeon, and I'm like, you know what? Someone's got to do it, and that someone's going to be me. And wow, you know what? That message is going to be good for exactly 1 person, and I'm going to keep it there for that 1 person. Hello, hello. Like, the try jumping messages, they're so great because at this point, it's not novel, it's not new, you know exactly what you're getting into, and it's just like clearly a bad idea, but people still try to get you to do it anyway. It's not a dragon, but I appreciate what you're doing. Be wary of ill-omened creature. Try defeating one-on-one, one by one. That's great. There we go. One thing I really like about the music in this, I'm a big fan of Duracine, the VR from Soft game, and the music in this reminds me very much of the sort of nostalgic, sad music from that one. Okay. So let me see, am I doing the... Let me go ahead and re-up this. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, and I'll see if I can get your summon sign then. right. I'm here. Let's see if we can get some more luck on the summon sign. And I think this this particular set piece will be my last one for the night. Whether we can get the summon working or not. It's hit midnight here. Although it does occur to me that that probably just means I'm gonna continue playing Elden Ring. Ah, good. Can I hit you from here? Actually, I might be able to. Ah, so close. Come on, man. Okay. Alright, it zooms to the same place each time. No, I'm not seeing it. Actually, let me see. Yeah, I still have the same multiplayer password. Oh, I can get it. So close. Maybe I can call horse to jump up? No, I cannot call horse. Yeah, I'm not sure why it isn't working. There's no reason based on multiplayer settings why it shouldn't. Well, either we're getting unlucky now or we got lucky before. And in either case, I'm glad that we were able to at least get some of the multiplayer in tonight. All right, here we go, buddy. You're not gonna know what hit you. What? There we go. Now what are you gonna do? What the heck? See the range on that guy's throw? Oh, hey kiddo. Okay, now he's gonna throw it. Jeez. I mean, they really, I guess, just train on your location and have the projectiles auto land there, because he just threw it like 2 football fields. That's great. Bump it there. Come on, little one. All right, I'm gonna keep seeing if I can poke this guy into throwing another firebomb. There you go. Let's see how long that lasts. Exactly 1 second. Oh, I think he left. Where's my drop down point? Is that it? Alright, let me try and re-up my finger remedy. Let's see if that gets me anything. Well, shoot. Oh, look at the shadows move. Yeah. Well, thank you for the co-op on at least 2 of those bosses that I had been just stuck on, and had just kind of assumed that I would come back at a later level. Yeah, I haven't. I've only had, how much time have I played? I've only had 83 hours to play this. How much progress can you expect from one man? Oh, hey, cool. That's a little, who's this guy? Bunch of skeletons inside these pods. This is some kind of grave. Alright. Well, then for our last trick for the night, I'm going to see if I can make it through here and see what's on the other side. I'm not going to try and kill whatever the heck that thing is. Yep. That's great comedic timing. Run! Oh boy. Hey, kiddo. Oh, hold on. There we go. Surprisingly safe? Nope, less safe. Alright, let's run away from the face. Maybe the torches tell me something good to go? Place to go? No? Nope, that's useless. That is also not useful. This does not help me. Right as I heal. Maybe I can take that final piece of whatever it is before I die. Nope, I sure can't. It's interesting. Looking at that boss, it feels a little, maybe a little lower res than many of the other ones, but it's moving so fast and it's so large that when you're actually playing it, you don't even notice. Alright, so I grabbed something off the ground back there, and I'm curious what that was. Was it a spell? Was it one of these fellas? Raptor of the Mists. think I might have to go look at the playback to see. Exactly what that was I just picked up. I need to get that rune active. And I have the thing that I need to trigger that rebirth event. But let's see. It seems unlikely. But I'm going to see if I can take a swing at old tree scales there. Goodbye, rats. I mean, I rated it good. It's got to be true. Oh, hey, I might be able to actually kill this thing. Oh, that was good timing to drink that. No, hit it! Okay. I kept thinking... What? I don't know what just happened, but that's a great Souls victory death. Oh man. I'm gonna go back there and see what see if I can kick around and find something. Although I do now have 4 golden seeds, so I can up that flask. That clearly was something cankerous as part of a tree, because it gave me a golden seed. No. No, I certainly don't have anything to do with that. Do I? Okay, no. Alright, let me very, very carefully make my way back down there so I don't lose however many runes that that victory awards me. It's gonna be real conservative. Oh, hey, cool. I can take it out with one shot like that. Really gotta level up this bow. Like, I started using it mainly as a lure or a poke to get certain enemies to come forth out of their group, but as time has gone on, I've just been using it more as a regular weapon for thinning out ranks. And maybe it's time I start treating it with the respect that it so duly deserves. Alright. Pardon me, rats. Don't mind me. We've all seen this before. Nothing new. See, how much did that net me? That net me all of 0? Huh. Weird. Oh, good throwing daggers. Oh. Beautiful, oh beautiful indeed. Ah, there's a ladder. There are many Metal Gear, many Metal Gear vibing things in this game. Lovable sword right down there. That's cute. Thank you. I did not think I was leveled enough to do that, but the blood slash really came through for me. So it's neat because this looks like, you know, this makes me think of, so there's this Ren and Stimpy gag about is it pickled pig faces? And they're basically what you would think. They're the faces of pigs that have been taken off, and they're a delicacy, and they look about as flat and as gross as this. It's pretty gross. But you would think that the body would continue down around where the neck is, but in fact it does not. It continues up here where the head is. Yeah, I did beat it. I did not expect my blood slash to do as much damage as it in fact did. Oh, am I about to come up behind the guy who was throwing those flame bombs at me from afar? Yeah, this is very, what a thrill. Darkness and something the night. Territory. Why did the... Yes. Oh, cool. And I have one. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not a fan of that that message sticking around. When I use an item. Iron wet blade. I have no idea where I'm supposed to use these. Hawk crest, you say? What does this give me? Oh. No, I like the blood buildup of the marred wooden shield. Misericord. Oh, it's just a dagger. That will be good for a rogue build. It is! Goodbye. Oh. Oh. The game's like, alright, your loading is done here. So, where do I go? Oh, right, that was the, derp. That was the optional room. What killed you? It's somewhat ominous. This also is ominous. I mean, it's a Soulsborne game. It's all ominous. Is this where I fought? Yeah, this is where I fought that that giant monstrosity in the elevators back here. Oh, okay, I know where I am now. Weird. Full circle. Old Godric, back in the days when man only had 2 arms and a lion spirit. Eric, it's good to see you. Yeah, I just got finished beating a monstrosity that I was frankly surprised that I could beat. And Dustin in chat helped me clear out a couple of bosses that that I've had in my to-do. List for a while. You know what? Sure. I don't object to that. How are you, Eric? Oh, I never got what's on top of that thing? He is, and I beat it with ooh. With a combination of fire magic and slashins. This does not fit the samurai. I never actually put this on. The back of my head is a beetle's butt. Oh man, moving is stressful. Are you staying in the area, or are you heading to a different city? Oh, okay. Cool. Good, I'm glad you're still going to be around. Right. Wish it told me which of my messages were appraised at any given time. No, I mean, there's no such thing as a small move. I moved into Seattle from Kirkland, which is, I mean, even that's not that big, right? But the effort and time and energy and resources that it took, I thought it was going to kill me, man. It's just not my preferred way of spending time. Hey there. Gonna make the jump there. There we go. Let's see. So that mystery has been solved. Okay. So the two front for a discovery that I've got. I want to figure out how the hell to get to over here. And the reason that's a challenge is access to this place. It's either through some magical means I haven't quite figured out yet, or it is by land. And this whole strip down here, everything I'm tracing, that is just too far of a fall away for me to be able to actually get to. It's the same as this situation over here with this this gulch that just is not giving me any kind of access. Hey. Give me a computer destroyer. And game system unplugger. There we go. Good. But yeah, what time is it now? It is 12:27. I should probably call it a night. Yeah, I think given that I don't have a game that I really have the energy for as a project to stream moving forward, I might do Elden Ring again next weekend. And hopefully Saturday will not be quite as tiring as this Saturday was, so we can kind of catch it on that day of the weekend too. Viper, thank you very much for coming out. Eric and Dustin, thank you so much for helping me with the... No, stop that. Don't eat that. For helping me with those bosses. Yeah, Eric, we should get together soon. Everybody, have a great night. Yeah. Help me. I don't understand what just happened to me. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh. All right. On that note of dignity, have a great night.